Japanese children go to bed without fighting. No bribes, no threats, no hour-long negotiations. While you're bribing your toddler with just one more story for the third time tonight, Japanese families are already asleep. Peacefully. What do they know that we don't? Picture this. It's 8 p.m. in your house. You've already said bedtime 4 times. Your child has suddenly remembered they're thirsty, need the bathroom, and have something really important to tell you about dinosaurs. Sound familiar? You're not failing, you're fighting a battle that shouldn't exist. Because here's what most Western parents don't realize. We've turned bedtime into a negotiation, a power struggle, a daily test of wills where someone has to lose. But what if I told you that in Japan, bedtime isn't a battle at all? It's a gentle closing, a completion, a natural ending that children actually look forward to. Japanese families have discovered something about the human nervous system that changes everything. Something about how we transition from day to night, from activity to rest, from being awake to being ready for sleep. And it works in about 15 minutes. Here's what happens in most American homes. The day ends abruptly. Okay, bedtime, we announce, expecting our children to flip a switch from fully engaged to completely calm, from bright lights and activity to darkness and stillness, from being with family to being alone in their room. That's like asking someone to go from running to sitting meditation in one step. The nervous system doesn't work that way. It needs transition. It needs completion. It needs what the Japanese call Owari no Kokoro, the heart of ending. In Japanese culture, there's a beautiful concept called ikigai, your reason for being. But they don't just apply this to life purpose, they apply it to daily completion. Every day has its own ikigai, its own arc, its own natural conclusion. And children, they understand this intuitively. Their bodies and minds are designed to wind down gradually, naturally, when given the right signals. But our rushed culture, our emphasis on efficiency, our need to get bedtime done, it works against this natural rhythm. Japanese parents discovered that when you honor this natural completion process, children don't resist bedtime. They embrace it because they feel emotionally ready, not forced, but finished. Let me show you exactly how this works. This is called the Owari Method, the completion ritual. And it happens in 4 simple steps that transform bedtime from battle to blessing. Step 1. The day's gratitude gathering. 30 minutes before bedtime, you sit together in a quiet space. Not the bedroom yet, just a calm corner of your home. You ask your child one simple question. What made your heart happy today? Notice the phrasing, not what was good or what did you like. What made your heart happy? This activates something specific in their brain, the memory consolidation process. When children recall positive moments with emotional language, their nervous system begins to settle naturally. Japanese families have been doing this for generations, often while looking at the evening sky or holding a warm cup of tea. The ritual signals to the child's brain the day is being honored. Nothing is being rushed or dismissed. Everything that mattered is being acknowledged. You'll notice something almost immediately. Your child's breathing deepens, their shoulders drop. They stop the restless fidgeting that usually accompanies bedtime announcements. Because they're not being pushed towards sleep. They're being invited to complete their day. Research on circadian rhythms shows that gratitude practices activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and digest mode. When children feel their experiences have been witnessed and valued, cortisol levels drop. Melatonin production increases. Sleep becomes biologically easier. Step 2. The body's thank you, 5 minutes. Next, you move to their bedroom, but the lights stay on, soft but on. You help your child change into pajamas, but slowly, mindfully. As you help them, you acknowledge their body's work from the day. These legs carried you to the playground today. Thank you, legs. These hands built that tower. Thank you, hands. These eyes saw so many beautiful things. Thank you, eyes. This isn't just sweet talk. This is nervous system regulation in action. When children feel connected to their physical selves, when they feel their bodies are appreciated, rather than just commanded to calm down or be still, something profound happens. The proprioceptive system, the sensory system that tells us where our body is in space, settles. Japanese parents understand that children can't mentally rest until they're physically grounded, until they feel safe and appreciated in their own skin. You're not just helping them change clothes, you're helping them transition from doing to being, from the external world to their internal world, from day consciousness to night consciousness. Brain scans show that this kind of embodied gratitude activates the insula, the brain region responsible for self-awareness and emotional regulation. Children who practice this kind of body appreciation show improved sleep quality and reduced nighttime anxiety. Step 3. The worry release. 3 minutes. Now the lights dim, but they don't go out completely. You sit on the edge of their bed and ask the second question. Is there anything your heart is carrying that feels heavy? Not what's wrong or what are you worried about. What is your heart carrying that feels heavy? This language acknowledges that children often absorb emotions throughout the day, from playground conflicts, from observing adult stress, from their own internal struggles. Japanese families understand that unprocessed emotions create restless sleep. When feelings are acknowledged and gently released, the mind naturally quiets. But here's the crucial part. You don't try to fix or solve whatever they share. You simply witness it. That does sound heavy. Let's set it down here next to the bed tonight. It doesn't need to come under the covers with you. Sometimes they share something specific. Sometimes they just sigh and say yes. Something feels heavy. Sometimes they say no. All responses are perfect. The invitation itself is the healing. Neuroscientists studying emotional processing have found that when children feel their feelings are acknowledged without judgment, the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, naturally calms. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for emotional regulation, becomes more active. This isn't therapy. This is emotional hygiene, like brushing teeth for the heart. Step 4. The dream invitation. 4 minutes. Finally, the lights go out. But instead of go to sleep, you offer something different. You invite them into tomorrow's possibilities. Tonight, while you rest, your dreams might show you something wonderful about tomorrow. What would you like to discover? Or, your sleeping brain is going to help you grow tonight. What do you hope it works on while you rest? This is the magic of the completion ritual. Instead of ending with separation and the implicit message, leave me alone now, you're ending with connection and possibility. You're positioning sleep, not as abandonment, but as adventure. Japanese parents understand that children's brains are wired for story and possibility. When you give their unconscious mind a positive focus, something remarkable happens. The transition from wake to sleep becomes gentle, natural, even exciting. Sleep researchers have documented this phenomenon. Children who fall asleep with positive, curious thoughts show increased REM sleep, the restorative sleep phase crucial for emotional processing and memory consolidation. They also report fewer nightmares and more positive dream content. You stay for just a moment longer, not until they're fully asleep, but until their breathing deepens, until you feel their nervous system settle into that drowsy, peaceful state. Then you quietly leave, but with a sense of completion, not escape. Here's what you'll notice within the first week of practicing the Owari Method. Your child stops the bedtime stalling tactics, not because they're afraid or compliant, but because they don't need to stall anymore. Their nervous system isn't fighting the transition. They feel emotionally complete. The negotiations disappear. There's no 5 more minutes, because time isn't the issue anymore. Emotional readiness, and when they feel ready, they naturally want to rest. But here's the most beautiful change. Your child starts looking forward to this time together. They begin initiating the gratitude gathering. They start asking what made your heart happy today, right back to you. Because connection, real emotional connection, is what children crave more than anything. More than another story, another song, another glass of water. They want to feel seen, understood, and peacefully transitioned into sleep. 6 months from now, here's what bedtime looks like in your home. It's 7:30 p.m. Your child notices the evening light and says, Is it almost gratitude time? They help you create the quiet space, eager to share their day's joy. They cooperate with pajamas because their body feels appreciated. They share what's heavy in their heart because they know you'll listen without trying to fix everything. And when you invite them to discover something wonderful in their dreams, they smile and close their eyes, genuinely excited about what sleep might bring. You leave their room feeling connected, not drained, peaceful, not victorious, because you haven't won a battle. You've created a ritual. You've honored the natural rhythm of completion that every human being needs. This isn't about controlling your child's sleep. It's about supporting their nervous system's natural capacity to rest. It's about recognizing that resistance to bedtime usually isn't defiance. It's incomplete emotional processing from the day. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds beautiful, but what if my child won't participate? What if they're too wound up for gratitude? What if they refuse the ritual? Here's the truth about the Owari method. It works even when it doesn't work perfectly. Maybe your 3-year-old can only think of one thing that made their heart happy. That's enough. Maybe your 5-year-old wants to tell you 17 things that feel heavy. Listen to them all. Maybe your toddler can't sit still for the whole ritual. Do what you can. The power isn't in perfect execution. It's in the consistent invitation to complete rather than simply stop. It's in the message you send. Your day matters, your feelings matter, your rest matters, and we're going to honor all of it together. Japanese families have been practicing variations of this for hundreds of years, not because they're more disciplined or naturally calmer, but because they understand something fundamental about human nature. We are completion-seeking beings. We need emotional closure before physical rest. Children especially need this because their days are so full of new experiences, big feelings, social challenges, and developmental leaps. Their nervous systems are working overtime just to process it all. When we skip the completion phase and rush straight to sleep now, we're asking them to rest with an overloaded system. The Owari method doesn't add time to your bedtime routine. It transforms it. Instead of spending 40 minutes negotiating, bribing, and battling, you spend 15 minutes completing, connecting, and transitioning. The result isn't just easier bedtime, it's deeper sleep, more peaceful mornings, and stronger emotional connection. Here's what parents tell me after implementing this method. I used to dread bedtime. Now it's my favorite part of the day. My child sleeps through the night consistently for the first time ever. The bedtime battles just stopped, and I didn't have to be mean or strict. We just changed our approach. But perhaps most importantly, my child feels safer, more emotionally regulated. They process their day instead of carrying everything to bed with them. That's the real gift of the Owari method. You're not just improving sleep, you're teaching your child how to honor their experiences, process their emotions, and transition peacefully through life's natural rhythms. These skills, completion, gratitude, emotional acknowledgement, peaceful transition, they extend far beyond bedtime. They become life skills, ways of moving through the world with greater ease and emotional intelligence. Your child learns that endings don't have to be abrupt or anxiety-provoking. That rest is earned through completion, not forced through exhaustion. That their inner world is worthy of attention and care. So tonight, try the Owari method. Just once. Start with step 1, the gratitude gathering. Ask what made their heart happy today and see what happens to their nervous system. Notice how their body responds to being honored instead of hurried. Then come back and tell us what shifted. Did they resist less? Did they share more? Did something soften in the space between you? Because when you replace bedtime battles with completion rituals, you're not just changing sleep patterns, you're modeling a different way to end each day, with gratitude instead of exhaustion, with connection instead of separation, with peace instead of struggle. And that's a gift that extends far beyond childhood. That's a gift for life. The Japanese have known this secret for generations. Now you know it too. The question is, will tonight be the night you try something completely different? Your child is waiting for completion, not control. For ritual, not rigidity. For the gentle closing of a day well lived. and the peaceful opening into restorative sleep. That's the heart of endings. That's the power of Owari. And that's how bedtime battles finally, beautifully disappear.